books that I'm going to come to you from are John and Luke. We're going to read John 4, 7 through 18. I'm going to start there. This is the woman at the well, all right? Soon a Samaritan woman came to draw water, and Jesus said to her, "Please give me a drink." He was alone at this time because his disciples had gone into the village to buy some food. And yes, of course, we could have did the King James, but I'm going to do a little bit of impressions of how I take these situations, because I don't know if y'all know, Jesus was the character. He threw some shade, okay? He threw some shade, okay? The woman was surprised, for Jews refused to have anything to do with Samaritans. It kind of, I think of that that commercial where the car warranty people, you know, excuse me, I just want to talk about the car. This is how the Samaritans were. Didn't nobody want to deal with them. They was problematic. Gone from around here now. I don't need no car insurance on your car warranty. So that's how Samaritans were to the Jews. No one wanted to deal with them because they were just the bottom of the bottom totem pole. Not good people according to them. They're just, you know, low class, right? She said to Jesus, "You are a Jew and I am a Samaritan woman. Why are you asking me for a drink?" Jesus replied, "If you only knew the gift God has for you and who you are speaking to, you would ask me and I would give you living water. But sir, you don't have a rope or a bucket," she said, "and this well is very deep. Where would you get this living water? And besides, do you think you're greater than our ancestor Jacob, who gave us this well? How can you offer better water than he and his sons and his animals enjoyed?" Jesus replied, "Anyone who drinks this water will soon become thirsty again, but those who drink the water but those who drink the water I give will never be thirsty again. It becomes a fresh, bubbling spring within them, giving them eternal life." "Please, sir," the woman said, "give me this water. Then I'll never be thirsty again, and I won't have to come here to get water." "Go and get your husband," Jesus said. "I don't have a husband," the woman replied. Jesus said, "You're right. You don't have a husband, for you have had 5 husbands, and you aren't even married to the man you're living with now. You certainly spoke the truth." That's that shade, right? He's like, yeah, you know, you done had 5, so you done had plenty to share. There's women out here waiting on a husband. You done had 5 of them, right? So now we're gonna move on to John 4, 27 to 30, because there's a long little dialogue that's going on, because it's kind of like a little tiff and tap, because she like, "Oh, so you got to call me out about my stuff, right? Why you trying?" So they don't say that, but you understand what's going on. She feels like, "Why are you trying to call me out about my stuff," or whatever, because she's not realizing who Jesus is quite yet. If you read that passage, so please go back and read John 4 if you've never read it. I'm sure all of y'all have, because y'all women and men of God, so I know y'all have. But it's a long chapter, so I'm just going to go to the bullet points, right? Now, from 27 to 30, which is very important. Just then, his disciples came back. Y'all know how these dudes be doing, right? They looking at him like, Messiah. They were shocked to find him talking to a woman, but none of them had the nerve to ask. Of course not. They just gonna talk about us that, because they still human, we still flesh, right? Because we all got issues, right? "What do you want with her? Or why are you talking to her?" The woman left her water jar beside the well and ran back to the village. Excuse me, let me back up. Oh yeah, what do you want with her? Or why are you talking to her? The woman left her water jar beside the well and ran back to the village. Tell everyone, "Come and see a man who told me everything I ever did. Could he be possibly the Messiah?" So the people came streaming from the village to see him. So let me explain what I feel about this situation. I'm going to give a little bit of pearl, okay? Now, this is not actually in the scriptures, but this is just my interpretation of what's going on here. This woman, I know, y'all got to think about this time now. If you had more than one husband, it was deemed adultery. If you were married and you divorced and you got more, it's considered adultery, right? So I know everybody was like with the Scarlet Letter. If you remember that epic back in the day in high school that we had to read, you wore the Scarlet Letter. This woman had to have had this letter. So I imagine she's in her town. No one's talking to her. Don't want to deal with her because she's a thought. Let's go ahead. Let's call it what it is. If y'all know what that little term is. I call them hyenas, you know, the little ghetto people. Problematic, always into something, trying to get somebody man. So I'm imagining the women probably like, because she then had 5 husbands. So she might have taken some husbands from other wives. We don't know. We just know she's had 5 husbands. So I'm imagining people shun her. So she probably doesn't talk to the people in the town. But in this particular passage, This woman went to the town and she told everybody, come learn about me. There's another thing that's missed here. She's preaching. You know, women weren't supposed to be doing that. That's what they say. Women can't preach. Some people say that. Your opinions is your total right. I don't know if it's true or not. I'm not God. We'll find out when we get to heaven, right? That's what I always tell people. Well, I don't know, child, so we're going to find out when we die and go to heaven. If we right, we right. But in this particular situation, she was chosen. It wasn't by happenstance that this woman was just sitting there at the well. Jesus meant to meet her. She was destined. Nobody else wanted to deal with her because of her past and who she was, but she was chosen. And I want to let y'all all know that you are chosen. Look at y'all beautiful and handsome people. Y'all are an array of power. The impact that y'all can make in this area here and throughout the state of North Carolina is dynamic. I know that you're chosen. So what I'm saying to you, y'all might have flaws, issues, and all kinds of stuff, and people might even overlook you on your jobs, even within your household with your family, your cousins, friends, or whatever. Don't let that deter you. And you might even have some issues come into your own personal life that you feel like, dang, just when I'm getting my feet ahead and just finally getting there, then they pull the rug from up under your feet, right? I've experienced that. We've all experienced that. Maybe. Most people have. Well, if you have, this is my little thing that I say when it happens to me. I'm going to let my setbacks be my set up. So don't let it deter you, because I promise you, if you got a setback, it's because you're blessed. And the devil doesn't want you to see how blessed and how powerful you really are. So take that opportunity and move forward and go and stalk like the big dogs, as Martin used to say, because y'all about to do some big and powerful things. I've seen it. I know y'all do. I've seen that event. The ball, oh my gosh, the way y'all move, the way y'all set that presence. I don't know if y'all recall, but this year when I went to it, I seen the difference in y'all. I know y'all have other sisters and brothers, but the way y'all set the presence in that building, I can't even explain to you. Y'all were separated. Y'all stood out. To me personally. And I don't want to like discourage other groups or courts, I believe it's called. I don't want to be misspoken. I'm sorry if I did. But it was something about you. Y'all had an aura about you. And I love that. So that means that you are something special, chosen. Okay? All right, so we're going to go on to good old Luke. This is this woman with the issue. This woman got issues, y'all. Issue of blood. Right? Luke 8:43-48. So these are going to be shorter. A woman in the crowd had suffered for 12 years with constant bleeding, and she could find no cure. Coming up behind Jesus, she touched the fringe of his robe. Immediately, the bleeding stopped. Who touched me? Jesus said. Everyone denied it. And Peter said, Master, this whole crowd is pressing up against you. But Jesus said, someone deliberately touched me, for I felt healing power go out from me. When the woman realized that she could stay hidden, she began to tremble, and she could not, stay hidden. She began to tremble and fell to her knees in front of him. The whole crowd heard her explain why she had touched him, and that she had been immediately healed. Daughter, he said to her, your faith has made you well. Go in peace. Now, so, in the King James Version, they say a little bit more. People were touching him. They say up against him, but people were actually touching him. And I like to use the NLT version because it gives a more descriptive era versus King James is kind of, it's matter of fact. So this is why I did this, because you get to act it out, right? But people were touching him. And so this is my imagination. I got a big imagination, y'all. I don't know if y'all know. I just imagine all the time. Because I work from home and it's just me and the dog. And I be talking to him all day and he looks at me crazy. So I imagine that all these other people, just like this woman, had faith, right? And it was like, ooh, if I just touch him, I might get this, I might get that, da-da-da-da. But she was chosen. Mind you, God spoke to Jesus and said, hey, this one right here, you don't know about this yet. Because he didn't know yet. He didn't get the memo yet. So you know how the demons and stuff be like fighting. If you remember, Gabriel was fighting. And he said, yeah, I got your prayer, David, I got your prayer. But, this the prince of this earth was holding me up. So I had to have, Michael fight for me. Those things happen. So maybe Jesus didn't get the memo because of the fight between the devil and the demons and stuff. I don't know. But he didn't get the memo yet. So he didn't know why he felt this power come from him. That's what I'm just assuming. Don't take that as face value. That's just me in my imagination. But she was the only one of all these people in this crowd that got her healing. Now, mind you, this is Jesus. Everybody knows man can heal, can do whatever. You know these people were touching him to try to get this same blessing, right? But none of them got it but her. Now, issue of blood. What is the one thing that you know about a woman in this day and age, let's just say on her cycle? What were they deemed as? Unclean, right? It's just like leprosy. So you know people weren't touching her and won't having anything to do with her. So she was the last. And the word of God says what? The last will be first and the first shall be last. She still was chosen. That's why this woman is in the Bible. She was chosen. Nobody wanted to deal with her, but she had a purpose, and that's how God moves. He wants you to realize, I don't care how small or minute you might think you are, or people might think you are bigger than your circumstances. That's the point of this particular passage to me. She is not nobody just because she had this issue and she was made whole. I can't imagine how many times she testified about this. And that's sometimes when you're sick. So this is what I want to hear. This is what I want to talk to you about. Sometimes y'all might be sick. People might be sick and they might have this lifelong illness, right? And you feel like I'm going through. I'm tired of being sick. But you still moving. You still doing things in your community. You still working. Look at how many people ain't nothing wrong with them. They chilling. They can do all kinds of stuff and won't work in a pie factory. I mean, it's the blessed. I was at the gym one week. This was like a couple years ago. And this man was in a wheelchair. He had been shot, unfortunately, and he lost the ability to walk. This man was in the gym lifting weights with his arms, doing whatever he could, and he was such a motivation for my little chunky butt self, because I'm like, this man's still in here working out, and he doesn't even know he can't use his legs anymore. He said, just because my legs don't work, my arms do, I still gotta stay in shape. I got a heart, I gotta keep it beating. He still was motivated, because he wanted to live. He didn't let his circumstance stop him. So I don't know if anyone's ill in here or battling something that, they said you gotta live with for your life or whatever. But as y'all know, God can heal whenever. Even if the doctor says yay or nay, you can always be healed. And if you're not healed, you're still a testimony. So you might need to tell others who are battling a lifelong illness how you are still living and thriving. Not surviving. I know this is about survival and things like that, but you are thriving as a survival. Okay? So always remember that and don't ever give up. Keep your faith and keep your hope, okay? All right, last but not least, all right? John 20, 11 through 18. Now Mary stood outside the tomb crying. As she wept, she bent over to look into the tomb and saw two angels in white seated where Jesus' body had been, one at the head and the other at the foot. They asked, "Woman, why are you crying?" They have taken my Lord away," she said, "and I don't know where they have put him." At this, she turned around and saw Jesus standing there, but she didn't realize it was Jesus. He asked her, "Woman, why are you crying? Who is it you are looking for?" Thinking he was the gardener, she said, "Sir, if you have carried him away, tell me where you have put him, and I will get him." Jesus said to her, "Mary." He's like, "Girl." That's what I'm, imagine. He said, "Mary." She turned toward him, because she probably didn't have her glasses on. I'm just playing. She turned to him and cried out in Aramaic, "Rabboni," which means teacher. Jesus said, "Do not hold on to me, for I have not yet ascended to the Father. Go instead to my brothers and tell them, I am ascending to my Father and your Father, to my God and your God." Mary Magdalene went to the disciples with the news, "I have seen the Lord," and she told them that he had said these things to her. So in King James, she goes to him and she says, "Jesus is risen." Now they weren't receptive, they ain't believe, especially that doubting Tom. That doubting Thomas, we already know how he is. He don't believe. He's like, "I need to stick my hand in his wounds," and sometimes, I love y'all brothers, but sometimes y'all can be so hard and complicated and hard to get through to y'all. Lord, y'all can be stubborn. Love y'all. I do, but y'all can be stubborn sometimes, and it's obvious from the male disciples. So the Bible don't really talk about Mary and who she really was. They just kind of make her look like, her past. A prostitute. Let's call it for what it was. She had 7 demons in her. She was an alcoholic. Yeah, it was a prostitute. Mm-hmm. The disciples didn't like her very much. It's kind of pretty much prevalent. They talk about when she went to go wash his feet, and she used the perfume to clean it and used her hair with her tears to clean his feet. And Judas, his little goofy self, I said it. You done hung yourself because you over here trying to betray him or whatever. You talking about, she gonna waste that perfume on his feet. We could have made some money off of that. That's where his mentality was. Just wrong. I'm not mad at that because a lot of that's, how men think they want to be providers, so I understand it. But in that moment, Jesus said, she's preparing my body for the crucifixion. So he knew what it was. It was more than just her washing the feet. But look at the dedication that she had to the Savior, to the Messiah. In fact, I find it interesting that he showed up to her first. He had all these 12 disciples that they talk about, the 12 disciples, because even in that age, they dismiss the benefits and the quality and the chosen of the women. She was still chosen. He showed to her first. That people keep missing that, how important she was. She wasn't just the person that, oh, you got to make me a sandwich so I'm going to show up before you. No, that was known. They wanted to be known, subliminally or not. I want you to know who this woman is. She was important. She was Jesus' right-hand man, believe it or not. Because she was there when they hung him. She stayed the whole time with his mama. She did not leave his side. That's dedication. Now, I'm not dismissing the 12 disciples because they bad now. Because they're going to be up there judging them tribes. And I was joking with one of my friends yesterday. But actually, your daughter. I said, look, we might need David. Because, David, he done did everything. And if he going to judge us instead of the other 12, because I don't want to have to go through Paul. If we got to go through certain people, I don't want to go through Paul. I'd rather go through Peter. I take Peter because, Peter be cussing and stuff. So Peter might be a little bit more lenient. Paul, he was killing Christians and all that. So we already know that he's not lenient. But the point I'm making is Mary, of all the three of the women, had the most baggage, we'll just say. She had passed with her, and the men, those guys still didn't like her. They would never really be receptive of her. They didn't even like that Jesus had her in a camp, let's just say that. But the point of that is what I believe and what I have meditated and prayed on is they wanted you to show how insignificant that she was viewed by even the people that are messiahs and followers and know the will of God and know that you're not supposed to treat people differently and whatnot. And we're supposed to be accepting of all, that even these people who are saved and serve God and love God will still make these same devaluing of people. And it's not about her being a woman, but just people in general. You see that all the time. So even in the New Testament, when Jesus passed away and ascended to heaven, came back to life and ascended, they still had those issues. So the point I'm making is, no, you're never going to be able to police people. People are always going to find stuff wrong with you. Dismiss it. Let your setbacks be your setups. Don't let people stop you from what you're doing. You know what you've done in your past. You know what you've done in what you do currently. But it's called flesh. We have flesh, soul, and spirit. Work on your soul and spirit. Make sure they connect. Your flesh, repent, move on. Try to improve it. Try to be better. Don't worry about that. Know that that's not who you are now, and you know who you want to be. Because y'all got work to do. I'm sorry, ladies. Gentlemen, y'all got work to do. Y'all got a community to save. These people wilding out here. Y'all see what it's like in 2025? It's crazy. We ain't got time to be worried about somebody saying, oh, y'all remember when she used to? We ain't got time for that. We have people that are losing their children at such young ages. The kids, these people are not even making it to 25 years old. And it's not because of, gun violence. It's from health. What is happening? Like life expectancy is 25 for some people because of their health. Massive heart attacks. So we need to be worried about soul salvation. And I think that that's what y'all exude. You're beautiful, you're wonderful. And I can't wait to see all the works that y'all have to do. So what y'all gonna do with y'all setbacks? That's what I'm coming. And who are y'all? Y'all are the what? Okay. So I thank y'all so much for this opportunity. Y'all are a blessing. And I can't wait to see what y'all doing and what new line dances y'all gonna teach me. Y'all stay blessed, and I can't wait to see this chosen and these setups come out. Thank you so much. Miracles and blessings.